Okay, let's just try and picture this. You step into this place, and bam, it hits you.
Yeah.
The sound, right? Just this wall of noise, people talking, selling things.
Mm-hmm. And the smells?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You've got grilling meat, sweet drinks, flowers,
Mm.
maybe even like old leather from the vintage section.
Exactly. And everywhere you look, it's just colors.
Yeah.
So vibrant. It's almost overwhelming, but in a good way.
Yeah, totally. It's not just, a market. It's like a full-on sensory experience.
Yeah.
You're talking about Chatuchak Weekend Market in Bangkok, right?
That's the one.
Yeah.
And today we're really going to get into it. We've been looking at all this info describing it, and it really is one of the biggest weekend markets anywhere. I think over 35 acres.
Yeah, 35 acres and something like 15,000 stalls, maybe more, just crammed together.
It's not just the size, though. It's how it's all laid out. It feels like this amazing kind of chaotic maze. Or a labyrinth. Lots of people actually want to get lost in. So, yeah, our plan here is to use what we've gathered to figure out what makes Chatuchak tick, beyond just being massive. Right. We want to pinpoint the spots you absolutely have to check out, the food you just got to try.
And maybe some, practical tips. How to actually find your way around without getting totally overwhelmed. Because it is known for that buzz, that energy, the crowds.
But also, surprisingly, some areas are described as having really clean, proper walking paths. It's this mix.
Definitely a mix.
Yeah.
Local shopping, tourists exploring, all mixed together. It makes for a really lively atmosphere.
Okay, so the good news is, even though it sounds huge once you're inside, actually getting to Chatuchak seems, well, pretty doable based on what we've seen.
Right. Public transport seems to be the way to go. Bangkok's got a great system for that.
So you can jump on the BTS SkyTrain, yeah. Head for Mochit Station. That seems like a main entry point.
Or the MRT Metro.
Yeah.
You've got Chatuchak Park Station, which is right here, the SkyTrain stop anyway.
But there's another MRT stop too, right? Kampong Phet.
Yeah, exactly. And that one's apparently even better if you're aiming for the red building area, where a lot of the vintage and thrift stuff is supposed to be.
Yeah.
It drops you closer.
Gotcha. So SkyTrain or MRT, either way, you're basically right there, walking distance from an entrance.
Seems like it. Taxis and tuk-tuks are always an option in Bangkok, of course. But traffic, especially on a weekend near the market, it could be slow going.
Yeah, the train sounds way more reliable. Faster, probably. And if you do take a taxi, the usual advice applies. Make sure that meter is running.
Oh, and for anyone thinking of driving, there's mention of parking near BTS Mochit. Big lot, open long hours, 5 a.m. to 1 a.m., and it's free.
But there's always a but.
It fills up super fast, like incredibly quickly. So yeah, public transport really does seem like the smarter bet.
Okay, so you've made it. You fought the traffic or navigated the train, and you're standing at the edge of this sprawl. 15,000 stalls.
Yeah.
Where do you even start?
That's where the sections come in handy. It sounds like, even though it feels chaotic, there is some organization. The market's divided up.
Which must help. A bit, anyway.
Definitely. And the info we looked at really highlights a few key sections, kind of like landmarks within the market itself. Section 7, for instance, keeps coming up for Thai handicrafts.
Ah, okay. So that's where you'd find the really nice, authentic things. Handmade jewelry, maybe those Thai silk scarves you see everywhere.
Exactly. Colorful lanterns, wood carvings, really intricate stuff. And it sounds like buying things there is a good way to support the actual artists, the people making them.
That's a good point. It feels better than just buying some generic souvenir.
Yeah, it connects you more to the local culture. The money goes right to them.
Okay, switching gears completely. There's Pet Alley, sections 13 and 14. That sounds unique.
It really does. Apparently it's a big draw, especially if you like animals. Tropical fish, cats, dogs, even exotic birds. It's quite a sight from the sounds of it.
But there's a note of caution there too, right?
A really important one. The material stresses. Be absolutely sure you can properly care for an animal before you even think about buying one there.
Yeah.
It's more a place to see, maybe, than to shop for a pet unless you're fully prepared. Serious commitment.
Very fair point. Okay, for something maybe a bit calmer. Section 3, plants and gardening.
Yeah, this sounds like a nice little escape from the main hustle. Like a peaceful corner. Exotic orchids, succulents, cool pots, garden tools.
Even if you don't have a garden, it might be nice just to wander through, catch your breath.
Exactly. A bit of green space amidst all the everything else.
And then for the treasure hunters among us, Section 26, antiques and collectibles.
Ooh, this sounds fascinating. Like stepping back in time, people mention finding rare coins, old cameras, vinyl records, Thai amulets, all sorts of vintage stuff.
Sounds like the kind of place you could get lost in for hours, just digging through things.
Totally. Looking for that one unique piece.
And besides those specific sections, there are areas for art paintings, ceramics, and even books. Diluk bookstore for secondhand reads.
Yeah, and then just clothes and accessories everywhere. The red building, again, for vintage, but also tons of handmade jewelry, bags, textiles scattered throughout.
Just trying to imagine it. The narrow aisles, the crowds, people bargaining.
It sounds intense, really energetic. And yeah, bargaining is definitely expected. It's part of the whole interaction, the social buzz of the place.
Okay, all that walking, all that looking, all that bargaining. You're going to get hungry and thirsty.
Oh, absolutely. And this is where Chatuchak sounds like it truly excels. It's described as like food heaven, just packed with incredible street food.
Everywhere you turn, basically.
That's the impression. Snacks, drinks, full meals. The variety is supposed to be unreal. And the energy around the food stalls sounds amazing. Locals, tourists, everyone just eating together.
And there are some definite must-tries highlighted in the info we saw. First off, dealing with the heat, fresh juices, cold drinks, essential.
Totally. But the star seems to be the coconut ice cream from Coco JJ. They've been doing it since 2008, apparently.
Oh, yeah. What's special about it?
They serve it right in a half coconut shell with a fresh coconut meat scooped out, too. And then you add toppings, corn, sticky rice, nuts. Sounds so good and refreshing.
Wow. Okay. That's going on the list. And mango sticky rice, obviously. A classic. People apparently love just watching others eat it.
Can confirm it was sampled. Delicious.
Knew it. Okay, first something more savory. The braised duck noodles. From Chatuchak duck noodles or Prani.
Yes. Open-air spot, reasonable prices. The descriptions say the duck is incredibly tender, just falls apart. Getting a bowl with a big drumstick in that broth sounds like the move.
My mouth is watering already. And then there's the roasted pork with honey glaze. From Pork May Samantha.
Ah, yes. The legendary pork. Apparently there's often a queue.
And the description, someone actually wrote it was like, seeing God.
That's what it said. I mean, talk about a strong recommendation. You kind of have to try that, right?
Absolutely. And what about boat noodles? Withanikosin boat noodle Chatuchak?
Yeah, those sound great too. Rich, flavorful soup, tender meat pork or beef chewy noodles, and adding crispy pork rinds on top.
Yeah.
Genius.
It just doesn't stop. Grilled pork skewers, that hot yai fried chicken, fresh fruit, Thai tea, garlic skewers, pad thai, somtam.
Seriously, you could spend all day just eating. Maybe that's the goal.
Could be. The advice seems to be don't stress too much about choosing. Prices are generally good, so just try stuff.
Especially if you're with people. Share everything. Sample more.
Good plan. And look out for those mist fans they apparently have scattered around. Little cool zones.
Lifesavers, I bet. So yeah, it's obvious this market is way more than just shopping or eating, isn't it?
Definitely. It feels like a real cultural immersion. You get a glimpse into how locals live, shop, eat. They're right there with you.
And you're finding things you probably wouldn't find anywhere else. Authentic stuff. Often handmade by local artisans. It represents their culture, their traditions.
And buying it directly supports them, supports the local economy. That feels significant.
It really does. It's also apparently a place where you really hear Bangkok's diversity. Like people are negotiating in all different languages.
And that negotiation, the bargaining, it's just part of the fabric of the place. Expected, often possible.
Right. It's all part of the experience.
So, wrapping our heads around it all, Chatuchak Market comes across as this massive, buzzing, maybe slightly chaotic, but ultimately super rewarding destination.
For sure. Unbelievable variety of goods. These cool landmark sections like the pet area or antiques. Incredible food that's easy to find and afford.
And it's easy to get to. That's a big plus.
Definitely. It seems like a must-do because of that sheer scale, the unique finds, the food scene, and just the incredible energy and cultural vibe you get.
Yeah.
It really feels like a defining Bangkok experience.
You know, one thing that stood out was this idea about the experience within the market, how it's about savoring moments.
Yeah, that was interesting. This idea that even in this huge, seemingly permanent place, everything is kind of fleeting, each interaction, each discovery.
Right. The joy comes from those immediate things, finding that perfect little item, tasting something amazing, just watching the world go by right then and there.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Where else can you find those unexpected little sparks of joy? Maybe they're waiting right there for you, even in the busiest, most chaotic places.